As one journey ends, another begins. Welcome back into the 84 Lumber Arena at the Island Sports Center. I'm Matt Gajtka with Robert Morris Sports Information and joined by head coach of the men's hockey team ready for the playoffs, Derek Schooley. And coach, to use your words, the marathon is over and now it's time for the sprint. When you look back at the season, what makes you feel like that your team is ready to ratchet it up as the intensity goes to a whole new level?
Well, I think we've been playing somewhat of playoff hockey for the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of one-goal games. We've had games that were tight, games that had the playoff intensity. And when you're at the top of the league, you take everybody's best shot. And I don't think that we got anybody's B game. I think we got everybody's A game. And that's the price with being at the top of the standings, that you're going to get everybody's best shot. And we were able to take all their punches and survive and prosper. So I think we're ready. I thought we had an excellent day of practice yesterday, and probably one of the most energy we've had since our first day of practice this year. And I think the guys feel like it's time to get something new started.
So you had the bye week, that was the first in program history, and you got a chance to sit back and watch some playoff hockey this past weekend in the AHC, including your opponent, the same opponent you finished the season with, Niagara. You'll play them once again, 7th postseason meeting coming up between your two programs. What did you take away from that series that Niagara had against Holy Cross? The middle game went 3 overtimes, and then the Purple Eagles bouncing back after that. What could have been a devastating loss to beat Holy Cross, a team that's playing really well, and you saw that firsthand 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, they're playing extremely well. They've got a belief in them. They've kicked into a new season mode. I was impressed with their goaltending. I was impressed with their desire. I thought they played hard. They competed hard. They did not look like a last place team. They looked like a team that was picked 4th in the league and played like a 4th place team. And we're going to have a battle ahead of us this weekend. And we know what they do. They know what we do. We played them over 50 times in our program history. So it'll be fun. I'm excited about it. I know our players are excited. I'm sure Niagara's excited to be advancing. And right now we're both 2 wins away from going to the AHC Final Four in Rochester.
You made a lineup change for the final game of the regular season, swapping centers on your top 2 lines. You bumped junior Greg Gibson up between Zach Lynch and Cody Wido, and you moved Scott Jacklin between Matt Cope and Brandon Denham. What were you trying to achieve with that move, and did you feel like you saw what you wanted to see?
Well, we were just trying to see how something looked. We had toyed with the idea of trying to get all the parties involved going, and just a little new look. And we wanted to see how it looked in the game. We didn't want to go into playoffs with new line combinations. We wanted to see how it looked in the game. And they hadn't played together at all, even in practice. And we've been going different combinations in practice. We've got the ability. They've played together enough where if we have to go back to them, they can do it. And we'll see where our lines shake out for Friday night. We're still undecided on our roster.
Best of 3 series starts, as Coach mentioned, Friday night. All the games this weekend, including Game 3 if necessary, on Sunday will be at 7:05. And the first 700 fans through the gates on Friday get a free t-shirt courtesy of RMU Athletics. And Coach, speaking of the program, an exciting moment for Colonials everywhere, I guess you could put it, last night as the men's basketball team advanced to the NCAA tournament. You know what that feels like. And do you see your players maybe getting a little bit of inspiration and remembering what it was like this time last year?
Well, I think everybody, you never forget that feeling. And when you kick into playoff time, I think the adrenaline comes and you draw from that experience, you draw from what you've been through. So I don't know if the basketball team inspires us as much as playoff time. And I think that was one of the things, sitting and watching. You're in the playoffs, but you're not really doing anything. I think Mike Pursuta said best, the Colonials start Atlantic Hockey playoffs this week by doing nothing. And now we're into the playoff time. You can see the pace pick up in practice. You can see everything going. And we got together as a team. We had a team meal last night. We watched the basketball game, and I'm sure I speak for everybody in our hockey program in congratulating our basketball team and Coach Andy Toole. They've done a phenomenal job down the stretch, and hats off to them to go to the tournament. But I think that any pride that you have in that is school pride. I don't think that makes us play harder. I think that just everybody wants to get back to where they've been. Andy wanted to get back to it, and their basketball team want to get back to the tournament. I'm sure that's the way our guys feel.
One last thing. If you had to pick one aspect of the game that changes the most from regular season to the playoffs? What would you say?
And, intensity, probably the intensity picks up another notch, but I also think the desperation, and they'll probably go hand in hand. The desperation of, if you make this mistake, will you be able to recover from it? The intensity is always jacked up in playoffs, but I think desperation and intensity kind of go hand in hand as one.
We look forward to seeing that this weekend. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you
for your time. The Colonials and the Purple Eagles, yes, they meet again in the playoffs Friday and Saturday. Games guaranteed here at 84 Lumber Arena. We would love to have you out. Stay tuned to RMUcolonials.com for full coverage as the hockey team begins the postseason.